Okay, it's rap pack to my pulse flat. We keep it real, no false rap. I got 4 cars and they all black. Got 4 bras and they all that. We call that ballin'. Doing this is my calling. Flow is so appalling. My phone off and she calling. I'm like, yeah.
What's going on, Internet, and welcome back to Nth-Level Entertainment, the most awesome series, comic book, and movie-related YouTube channel in South Africa. I am your host, Zweretu Mahlangu, aka Z the Entertainer, and welcome to episode 3 of my Marvel Cinematic Universe review series. So today I'm going to be doing Iron Man 2. Just finished watching the movie, and what kind of bugged me as I was watching it is that, this movie seems to have a bit of a bad rep amongst people that have seen it, fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They say that it's the weaker of the Iron Man movies, and I don't know, I found myself enjoying it just as much as the first time I actually watched it. I mean, there was so many cool concepts that it actually introduced. Like that scene where sorry, I'm just getting some things in order here on my laptop. Like that scene, for example, where Tony first fights Whiplash in that Monaco GP Formula 1 racing type thing. That was pretty cool. I mean, it introduced a suit that comes out of a suitcase, an Iron Man suit, that comes out of a suitcase, and then the way that he actually transformed into it was pretty cool. There's some pretty nice elements to that movie. I mean, it even opened up I think about just a short time before, between the end of Iron Man 1 and the beginning of this movie, where, we pick up from that speech that Tony was giving in his press conference, where he finally said, "I am Iron Man," and he was being questioned by all those reporters and members of the press. And that scene is sort of it's juxtaposition between someone called Ivan Vankov, I think, who's the father of the villain of the story, watching this news report in his last moments of life, in fact, because he soon after that dies in his son's arms, who is Anton Vankov, who I believe is an amalgam villain. He's an amalgamation between Anton Vankov from the comics, who is the Crimson Dynamo. He's another one of those villains that are sort of like a copy of Iron Man in some sort, similar to Ironmonger in the first one. He's got an Iron Man suit which is a lot bigger than Tony Stark's and was kind of unstoppable due to certain upgrades that it had. And that's where the movie picks off, and we see the Stark Expo. We see Tony making his usual flamboyant entrance into the event, and he changes back to Tony Stark out of the Iron Man suit right there on stage, while he's got a whole lot of Iron Man dancers in the background. That was pretty cool. Aside from all of that stuff, which was basically just fluff on the surface, but it was a pretty good movie. I mean, it connected pretty well from the first one. We did see some character development from Tony Stark in terms of things that were caused in the first movie and that are now a consequence in this one. For example, he's dealing with palladium poisoning from continued use of the arc reactor in his chest. So he constantly has to drink chlorophyll, I think it was, to counteract the symptoms, a certain amount of ounces every day. We see a development in the relationship between him and Pepper Potts. We also see Happy Hogan is still his driver, played by Jon Favreau, who also directed the film. We also see the introduction of a new roadie to the film, which was very unfortunate as far as the guy who played him in the previous movie. I forget his name, but he's now played by Don Cheadle, who carried on with the character throughout the MCU. He's a better roadie, in my opinion. He plays the seriousness thing. He plays that character that Rhodey has, who he knows his best friend is he's a flamboyant playboy who's always getting into trouble, and he's the serious military guy, and they've got this dynamic of tolerance between the two of them, while simultaneously playing a big brother role to Tony Stark. So Don Cheadle plays that quite well. It's unfortunate that the other guy had to lose the role, but I think Don Cheadle plays a better roadie. I mean, as far as us having a better villain, okay, of course, it's an MCU staple that the villains are a bit forgettable. But other than that, I don't see how it was worse than any other MCU film, you know. It was actually quite fun watching this film as well, because, you know, it took me back to the early days of the MCU as far as nostalgia goes, you know, because Iron Man was always this like heavily tech influenced character. You know, the environment was always like there was always something state of the art going on, you know, if it's not these like screens that he has that are floating in midair and he interacts with them, and, you know, like he throws away his 3D designs in a virtual like trash can, which is sort of like a basketball hoop. That was pretty cool. If it's not all that, you know, we see his relationship with Jarvis and his other, like, you know, robotic assistants that help him create his suits and fix other things. I mean, we even have a cameo from Elon Musk in this movie, you know, one of our own, you know, like resident tech geniuses right from South Africa, who the Iron Man Tony Stark character was modeled after by Jon Favreau in this film. What's not to like? We also see the introduction to Black Widow, which is pretty cool. Some more connective tissue within the MCU, suggesting that there will eventually be an Avengers film. We see more of Nick Fury in this movie. He has more of an active role than just being in the background or appearing in a post-credit scene. It was a pretty good film. I enjoyed it. I don't really think I can find any downsides to it. I mean, I also enjoyed the fight that Iron Man and War Machine had against Whiplash at the end, when he had all those drones that came in that one site by the expo to help him out, like sort of like as henchmen, that they had to take them out, and you get to see War Machine in action. The visuals were stunning. We also get to see the development of the relationship between Pepper Potts and Tony Stark. You know, he makes her CEO of Stark Industries because he realizes that he's now too busy to run the company as well. And, you know, we see how that goes. She hires a new intern who happens to be Black Widow in an undercover SHIELD operation, I guess. So, I mean, it had all the makings of a great MCU film. I struggle to see what was bad about it. I would love some people to point it out to me. I mean, if you have different feelings than I do, maybe let me know in the comments below what you thought of the movie or what the negative points were. But I really enjoyed it. I really didn't see anything wrong with it. It moved the MCU along quite nicely. We also see a more active role from Coulson in this film, you know, as Nick Fury's number 2. And he gets shipped off to New Mexico, which we see in a post-credit scene that he was there to now move the story along with Thor. The scene that they show in the post-credit scene is a in-movie scene from the movie Thor, as we get to see later on, with everybody trying to pick up Mjolnir and stuff like that. So I really don't see anything wrong with this film. And it looks like this is like the main theme of my review, actually, is what is wrong with Iron Man 2 ultimately. But I really enjoyed it. I mean, I really can't find anything to criticize, except maybe for the fight that Rhodey and Tony Stark had at that one party he had at his house when he was dressed in the Iron Man suit and he got drunk. Okay, that was a bit of a low point. Maybe it was just a low point as far as I saw the character fall in my eyes, you know, of Tony Stark being a buffoon ultimately. But other than that, it was a great film. I really dug it. Oh, and Justin Hammer was hilarious in this movie. Sam Rockwell plays a brilliant Justin Hammer. I hope they bring him back later on in the MCU. I don't know. I would like to see some more buffoonery from him. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. You know, as a rating, I would give it, I don't know. I mean, okay, I'll give it like 9 arc reactor blasters out of 10. I don't know why I'm not giving it 10. I guess I'm just scared of the internet turning back on me for a perfect rating for Iron Man 2, but I really thought it was good. So yeah, that's my review, people. Let me know what you thought of this movie in the comments below. If there's anything you'd like to suggest for me to review or watch and then review, send me an email at zweletu@nth-levelentertainment.co.za. as well as what any other ideas you may have in terms of content you'd like me to review in future, or a specific trailer that you may know of that has just dropped that you'd like me to react to. Let me know and let us keep in touch. I'm also going to be doing some giveaways pretty soon of t-shirts and comic books, comic book memorabilia that I'm going to be sourcing from Cosmic Comics in Cresta here in South Africa. So the details of the giveaway I'll be letting you know in the upcoming videos, but those will entail my email address as well if you'd like to redeem any prizes or things like that. And also just if you'd like to see more from the channel, go ahead and click on subscribe, and make sure you click on the bell icon so you are notified every time I drop new content on the channel. Otherwise, thank you for spending so much time with me, people. As usual, take care of each other, stay awesome, and to infinity and beyond.
Hey guys, thanks a lot. If you want to see some more from us, click here or click here.